Good morning, Chris Kelly with you here with EFT Tapping Solutions. The topic today is impatience or not having patience at all. And what I mean by that is in dealing with other people or even with ourselves, we're always in a rush. We don't want to wait for anything. And we usually get a little grouchy about it. I know I do. And that's the topic for today. So here's a little legal disclaimer, which I usually throw in here, is if you have ADD, ADHD, your brain's wired a little differently. The chemicals, you might have a little chemical imbalance in your brain or something like this. Please seek out professional medical attention, okay? The reason I say this, and it might sound a little silly of why is he putting disclaimers on this, is because this video is public. It can be viewed by anyone, whether you have deep psychosis or if you're completely normal, which is what I'm addressing this to, is people that are just impatient. And I'm certainly not above this. I get very impatient also. So that's a little disclaimer. Please see your doctor, psychologist, clinical psychologists with PhDs and all kinds of things like that if you think you have more than just the day-to-day impatience like the majority of us have. So to talk on this topic of impatience, usually what this is in regards to is that we don't want to live in the now. Our brain is always either worrying about the past or we're thinking about the future, okay? So when we're talking with someone, we're usually completing their thoughts for them. We're hearing them, we're really not listening to them. Or we're impatient with ourselves, usually based on the things that we do. If you're in a hurry, that means you didn't plan out your day properly, or maybe you're just slow and then you just get impatient with yourself. Or perhaps just your electronic devices. I know I get impatient with my little phone that has the internet on it. If it takes more than 5 seconds to load a page, well, I'm impatient as everyone else. So that's what I'm referring to. So what I want you to do is recognize this. This is an awareness issue. Recognize that you're being impatient. Take a deep breath, exhale, and just focus. And try and be in the now. If you're talking to someone or they're talking to you and you're getting impatient with them, then just listen. Listen to everything they have to say. Tune out everything else. Bookmark your book. Stop what you're doing on the computer and just listen to the other person, okay? We have to understand that everyone has a subjective view of life, okay? Everyone in this orb of skull has their own story floating around. And then obviously everyone communicates in a different manner. Some people are very blunt. They just get right to the point. Other people like to draw it out. They like a lot of detail. They want to tell you every little thing about everything that's going on. And how this topic came up is I was with my mother this weekend. Unfortunately, it wasn't a pleasant trip. And we'll talk about that tomorrow in regards to negative emotions and things like that. But I get very impatient with the ones I love. My son and my daughter, my girlfriend, my mother. It doesn't matter if it's male, female, young or old. A lot of times I get impatient. Other than with my clients, okay? I spend a lot of time listening to their stories and trying to help them as much, but when I get off duty or whatever you like to call it, I get pretty impatient, just like everyone else. So this is an opportunity for me, just like it is probably for you and everyone else. So first thing, take a deep breath, calm down. If you're alone and this is something that's really frustrating you, you can do the tapping. I know in the most pressing issue, we try and be real specific, but you can do general tapping of, I'm just really impatient, but I love and accept myself completely. I'm really impatient, but I love and accept myself completely. I accept myself and I love myself, even though I just don't have any patience today. I don't have any patience today. This web page won't load. I'm trying to work on my website. I need to take a deep breath. I just need to calm down. I need to be in the moment. I'm just really impatient with myself and everyone else. Okay, so you can do some generalized tapping on impatience, or you can be very specific, and that's usually the case, and that works the best, is if you can narrow it down to a negative emotion, a symptom, an event, or a limiting belief that pops into your head that you realize it's really a limiting belief, and you're just impatient with that, or you're impatient with yourself, just start doing some tapping on that, okay? And then just tap through the points. The other point I'd like to make is that I think we already talked about everyone's subjective up here, but the next topic is pay attention, okay? None of us have enough attentive capacity is what I call this, okay? And this is focus, attention, awareness, focusing this. This is what I'm referring to. So if someone starts to talk to you, ask them to hold on for a moment if you're busy, and then give them your full attention. Focus. Really listen to them. Don't just hear them. Watch their body language and just pay attention to them, or pay attention to your device and take a deep breath and just live in the moment and just remain calm. because I know I get frustrated and I get very short with my mother, which is an example I'm going to use, of I just kind of shut her down. I'm like, Mom, can we just get to the point here? You know, all these people, they don't need to hear all the stories about my father and all these different things. But that's the way she communicates. She's got the story in her head that these people, they need to hear this. They need to hear a lot of detail. And a lot of times they do. But from my perspective, my little story in my head, I'm thinking, well, let's just get to the point, okay? Get to the point on this, and let's just get this over with, especially in unpleasant situations, which I was in this weekend with my dad in the hospital and then moving him to a long-term memory care facility. I was very impatient with all of this. You know, medical treatment takes a lot of time, takes a lot of paperwork. No one likes that, and I got very impatient. So I had to do a lot of tapping on this, and it works wonders. It really works. So I was tapping a lot, you know. Even though I'm impatient with my mother, my mom's driving me nuts, I deeply love and completely accept myself. I love and accept myself completely, even though my mother's driving me nuts. I'm really impatient with my mother. I'm really impatient with my mother. And then just tap through these points, okay? I'm not going to make this a super long tapping video, but I just want to get the point across of whatever you're impatient with, take a deep breath and calm down. If you can do the tapping, do the physical tapping. If you can do it in your head and you remember the points, just visualize all these different points. And then just use your internal dialogue and talk to yourself in your own mind. Even though I'm impatient, I deeply and completely accept myself. And then just think of yourself tapping on these meridian points. Take a deep breath and just calm down. So this is a huge opportunity for everyone. I don't know anybody who doesn't lose their temper at times or get impatient. It's a huge topic. And although a lot of people think that this might not be as important, it might be a little insignificant compared to your lower back pain or if you have finance troubles and all this stuff. But just keep in mind that everything's kind of a circle. Everything circles around. So if you've got chronic low back pain for the last 6 months and you have no solutions in sight, you're probably impatient with it. So that's one of the symptoms of having the back pain. The back pain's a symptom that something's going on, and then it becomes frustration, and then you get impatient with yourself, you get impatient with the doctors, you get impatient with everybody, and so that's where you can start tapping on being impatient. If you don't want to tackle some of the bigger issues of tapping, if you're trying tapping alone and it's not working for you, you're probably impatient with that. So that's why I want you to give me a call or find me on my massage website or my YouTube channel here, and I will work through this with you. So that's the lesson for today. It might sound like a small one, but everyone I know is not patient at all times. So work on those areas, take a deep breath, try and stay in the moment, and then pay attention, okay? Pay attention to that moment. Don't escape and run out the back door of, throw your phone down or shut the computer off or cut people off when they're talking like I have done. I've been extremely rude at times with people I love of just shutting them down. Like, can you just get to the point? And I did that to my mother this weekend. It was very rude and obnoxious. And we actually have a great relationship, but I was tired, I was angry, and we'll cover all those negative emotions tomorrow in regards to my sad and angry weekend, but we'll talk about that later. So work on your impatience. I will talk to you soon. Chris Kelly with EFT Tapping Solutions. Have a good day.